No, seriously, that's like what half of you sound like. I don't understand how you've lost the ability to talk because you have a mask on. Today's lesson is all about simple interest rate. Two parts I want to go over before I start showing you how to solve. First thing is, what is interest? That's probably going to be everybody's biggest question is, what is interest? You could be interested in something, but that's not what we're talking about here. Interest is extra money that is owed for borrowing money. So when you go to the bank, you'll get you can get a loan, which is typically what these are associated with, is loans. You get a loan for college, you get a loan for having a house, you might just get a loan for having a wedding. There's various different reasons why you could get a loan. You could borrow a certain amount of money, and that will actually be, when we get over here, your principal. You'll borrow $50,000. You're not just going to end up owing that $50,000 back. You're going to have to pay interest. Okay, the bank's not just going to give you the 50 to get 50 back. The bank wants to make money off of giving you money, and that's how the interest comes in. The interest is the additional money, the extra money owed for borrowing from the bank. So that's what interest is. Let's go over the formula. There is a formula for solving simple interest rates, okay? And it is interest is PRT. I know, just letters. I'll go over it, relax. P is the principal. What is principal? It's not Miss Williams, okay? It's not Miss Harris, okay? It actually means the amount borrowed. So like I said, that initial $50,000 that you borrowed. R is the rate. So you'll see it as a percentage. It's a 3% increase, it's a 5% increase, it's a 12% increase. But remember, when we're dealing with percentages, they need to be in decimal form. And how do we turn a percentage into a decimal? Slide it over 2 times, okay? No matter where it starts, slide it over 2 times. You don't just put the period in front of the numbers, you slide it over 2 times. A lot of people, when they had single digits like 3 and 5, they only slid it over once because they were so used to seeing it in front of the numbers. And lastly, T. T stands for time, but it's time in years. Okay? It has to be in years. No matter what they give you, no matter how they give it to you, it has to be in years. So if by chance they give it to you in days, so let's say you're borrowing it for 185 days, you have to do 185 divided by 365 to figure out what that actual amount of year is. So let's do some examples. I'll start talking. Get a red marker. Can I do a red? No, I gotta do blue. Oh, think both. All right, number 1. So I went to the bank and I borrowed $1,800 at a 5% interest rate, and I borrowed it for 3 years. They said I don't have to have it paid off for 3 years. So I'm going to plug into my formula. Can I see the red marker on the camera? Yeah, sure. All right, so P, principal. You're actually going to put the entire 1,800. 1,800 multiplied by that's my phone. No phones in class. Okay, no phones in class. Multiplied by the rate. So the rate as a decimal. So it's 5%, which means you take the 5, you take the 5%, you slide it over to the left 2 spots. Creates a rate of 0.05. I'm going to run out of space. And then you multiply it by time in years. For this one, my years are 3 years. I don't have to have it paid off for 3 years. It's a great loan. So it's literally going to be 3. And then, so you guys can all stop asking me. Calculators are okay. I don't have a good one, so I'm going to have to use the old one. Calculator. So just multiply. This all it is multiplying. Once you filled in your formula, it's just multiplying. Because these variables are next to each other. They're all next to each other, which means there's no indication of addition, subtraction, and there's no division bar. So they're right next to each other. It's an indication multiplication. 1,800 multiplied by 0.05 times 3. So my interest for borrowing this money is $270. That's the additional amount I'm gonna have to pay. The additional amount. But if you're thinking, oh, I get $5,000 and all I gotta pay back is $270, no, you have to pay back the $1,800 and an additional $2,700. Yeah, you understand. Okay. Which means in the end of 3 years, you have to pay back $2,070. That's what you're gonna end up paying back in 3 years. But you borrowed it, So you have it right now and you can use it. And if you're starting up a business, that's always good. Do sample number 2. I'm not gonna have a lot of time to edit today. My computer was having issues this morning, so you have a really, really rough video. All right, I said this one was 6 months. Okay, so I borrowed $2,600. $2,600. I'm going to change my 3% to a decimal, which means you slide it over 2 times, giving me a rate of 0.03. Then it's 6 months, but I said time always has to be in years. You're not going to use 6. Do not use 6 if it's in months. It has to be in years. Well, how many months? 6 months is how many years? Half a year. So it is actually going to be multiplied by 0.5 because it's 0.5 of a year. It's half of a year. So let's go. Here we go. And then after that, it's just multiplication. 2,600 times 0.03 times 0.5. Going to end up owing, not terrible, it's not terrible. I'm going to end up owing an additional rate of $39. Not terrible for what I owed, but it is a quick turnaround. So by the end of it, I'm going to end up having to pay back $26.39. It's the total amount I'm going to have to pay back by the end of it. All right, quick video today, kind of. No time to slice and dice, so it's going to be a really, really, really raw video. All right, I think I'm just going to teach the people in class, and the people at home are going to watch the video. That might be how we do it from now on. See you.